working on getting sober. One thing at a time. All right. Well, welcome to my video log of my artist's way journey. First thing I want to say, I mean, it's pretty freaking obvious. Those of you who don't know, you should know. But shout out to Ms. Dochi, because I've never been more inspired by a celebrity in my life to buy something. And I'm happy that it's a book. And I want to kind of play how Dochi did, and I want to post weekly recaps and do my like weekly check-ins on camera and just post them here for vibes. Low impact, you know, it's not that serious. But please, if you feel so compelled, join me, follow, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. Today is Sunday, March 30th. I started a week ago today. So we just did week 1, which was recovering a sense of safety. Don't know why I showed that to you, like you could see it, but that's fine. So for those of you that don't know how this works, pretty simple actually. The author, Julia Cameron, she essentially set up a 12-week program. Each week has a different recovering, something that we're focusing on. So week 1 is recovering a sense of safety. She has a spiel that she goes into about our shadow artists, about who is our critics, who are our block directors. And so I kind of went through with pencil and have notated throughout the week and throughout reading of the chapter. I really appreciate that she leaves a bunch of like extra space on the sides. You see, there's so much extra room to just write. Like even in the beginning, I found myself notating and like using empty pages to write summaries, write down words that I'm like, words that are new to me and look them up, you know, those types of things. Okay, so let's just get into it. I have my morning pages in here, and then I have my tasks and, you know, additional writings in here. So she essentially wants you to do morning pages every day. You have to write 3 pages every single morning. And then every week you have a certain like list of tasks that you should do throughout the week. And it's just writing tasks. In addition to your artist date, which is you by yourself doing something fulfilling for you. And so for my intentions with my artist dates, I really wanted to do things, like my intention is to do things that are outside of dance aspects, like comfort zones that I'm used to, because I'm already trying to put myself in new comfort zone, like in new environments within my dance spaces. For those of you that don't know, I'm a dancer. Hi. So I don't want to count that as my artist date because I'm already doing that. Like that's a task. If I'm going to be in a dance space, I want to try to be in a new environment, meeting new people. But what I want to do for my artist dates are like, I don't know, tapping back into crocheting. That's something I did as a kid that I haven't done in a while, that I love. Or going to a museum, or going to a cooking class, or going to take a class that I've never taken before, like a pole class, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, I just really want to use those artist dates to tap out of my comfort zone. This week was good. I worked every single day. I still managed to do my I still managed to do my morning notes every day except yesterday. I did not get. Yesterday was Saturday. Yeah, I was lazy. Not lazy. I just did not pick up the pen yesterday. But I ended up performing at a fashion show, met some new people, went out, had some vibes, danced to the top 100 list from like 2017 because that's all the bar was fucking playing. New York City, bro. Anyways, I've been yapping for a minute. I hope you're following. It's okay if you're not. But yeah, what I noticed about this week in my daily journals, my morning writings, morning scripture, that's kind of what it's been feeling like. It was like I enjoy to write, but like with my work schedule, like for example, 2 of my writings in here, I literally did them at work. I needed to write, and I didn't wake up early enough to do it. So I think next week, or this week that I'm coming into, I want to try to be up earlier so I can write my notes at home, and yada yada. Because writing my notes on the job was like therapeutic, but also I can't do that. Like the job that I work, they already clock my shit all the time. They try to, but like no one said anything now, but I don't know, it's just not something I want to get into a habit of doing because I know I'm not supposed to be doing it. But I did manage to write my 3 pages every day, and I noticed quite a bit of complaining. Quite a bit of complaining. I had fun throughout the week. I talked about meeting a lot of different people. I went to a few events this week. I danced at a weed dispensary opening, like grand opening, with some friends. Just vibed. And I got some good things done. Finished my period cycle. Was on time to work every day. Let's see. But a lot of complaining. Mostly about trying to move out of my mother's house. But I love my mom. I love my mom. We are one. We try to be, at least. I wrote some quotes. I said I refuse to water myself down. You have everything you need. Give yourself permission to feel safe every single day. You are finally ready to make peace with your own walls so you can move past them. So, this week being about recovering a sense of identity, addressing self-definition as a major component of creative recovery. You may find yourself drawing new boundaries and stalking out new territories as your personal needs, desires, and interests announce themselves. The essays and tools are aimed at moving you into your personal identity, a self-defined you. And the first thing she says is going sane. Trusting our creativity is new behavior for many of us. Trust. She talks about blocked creatives and how essentially the people that you are around also contribute to your sense of creativity and your sense of self. She calls them poisonous playmates. And she kind of goes through different identities of people and creatives, and like how the people that you're around essentially add to your vibe. I don't know where I'm going with this right now because the weed just kicked in. Tap back in, bitch. Okay. Oh. That's why I'm like, this seems so foreign right now. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Y'all, I just read for week C, we're working on the sobriety because my high brain just had me reading the wrong section. That's for this week that's coming up. I wanted to tell you guys about week 1. Week 1 initiates your creative recovery. This is your sense of safety. Sense of identity is this week. See, I'm gonna need to refilm this now, I feel like. Or should I just keep it in? Why not? This week initiates your creative recovery. You may feel both giddy and defiant, hopeful and skeptical. The readings, tasks, and exercises aim to allowing you to establish a sense of safety, which will enable you to explore your creativity with less fear. One of our chief needs as creative beings is support, and unfortunately, this can be hard to come by. Ideally, we would be matured and encouraged first by our nuclear family and then by ever-widening circles of friends, teachers, and well-wishers. Young artists, we need and want to be acknowledged for our attempts and efforts, as well as for achievements and triumphs. Unfortunately, many artists never receive this critical early encouragement. As a result, they may not know they are artists at all. And so she talks about how to intimidate ourselves, to intimidate our artist self, we often have very low self-worth. And we have this dream that somehow becomes like this thing that we're not embodying because of external blase, really, and internal lack mindset, critic mindset. She calls it the block directors, like afraid to take steps to actualize his interest. So hiding in the shadows of your most creative self, right? She talks about how we can protect the artist child within, because really that's all that we are, is kids who want to live our dreams, right? I know I'm saying are, me, see. Maybe I don't need to, and it's the doubt that comes in. I'll be like, oh, I don't need to post this to the internet. Why not? Well, somebody is downstairs talking right now, but you're gonna get it all. So, anyway, tap back in. Understanding that the enemy is within. These core negative beliefs that we have about ourselves, like the core negative things that I think about, are what's going to manifest if I don't change them and understand that none of these core negatives need to be true. That's what she says in the book. And it's like, They come from us, they come from our parents, our religion, our culture, our fearful friends. Each one of these beliefs reflects notions we have about what it means to be an artist. This idea of like, what does that look like? How does that manifest? She gives us some positive alternatives, which I really appreciate. She said artists can be sober, sane, solvent, responsible, user-friendly, faithful, saved, happy, discovered, and recovered. She talks about your ally within is affirmative weapons. All too often, it is audacity and not talent that moves an artist to center stage. Because we often sit on the sidelines critiquing, right? Blocked creatives often sit and watch, and it's like, and judge. She gives us some more creative affirmations, and then she gives us our tasks for the week. And for the tasks, I did a couple. I did not do them all, but I did a couple. The first one that I wrote was the imaginary lives one. So if you had to live 5 other lives, if you had 5 other lives to lead, what would you do in each of them? She says, I would be a pilot, a cowhand, a physicist, a monk, and a psychic. I said I would be an author, a cartoon or like stop motion animator, lawyer, private chef, a DJ, a doula, like a midwife, and a pilot. I also wrote a bunch of monster affirmations down, things that I find myself saying to myself that are not like just take up space. Like now that they're like on this page, they can be out of my mind, you know, because it's like, why waste time? I'm smart and creative and stunning. And it's like, now that you've identified the monster affirmations, let them sit on a page and out your mind. All these negative and low vibrational thoughts don't serve your evolved, changed, loving self. For one, none of these are fact, and they are just words. Words can change. Words can mean many thoughts, but not all thoughts are true. Valid in their being a thought, but they do not define you. You define you. So, what are some magical affirmations we can write into our brains today? How are you feeling now? I'm grateful to be breathing. I feel calm. I am creative. I am an author. I work at my pace intentionally. I live a wild life full of love and authenticity. I work hard at being and finding more of myself. I love to connect. I am grateful for my friends, my family, to dance, music, the wind and sea. I'm grateful for the rain, followed by the sunshine and breeze. I'm grateful to be wrapped in this comfy snuggie, for everybody needs a huggy. Thank you, God, that I am me. Bow. I wrote an editor letter. What? Okay, well that was another one. I feel like this is probably getting long. I wrote some other stuff down just about some shadow situation. She calls it a horror story, time travel. Write out a horror story of your monster hall of fame. Water. All right. Well, that's it for week 1. That's it for week 1. I don't think I have anything else to say. Thank you for listening. And see you next Sunday. See you next Sunday.